Much of you have been indoctrinated with much earthly knowledge, which has ultimately blinded you to the truth of right knowledge. One of those earth knowledges is religion, which has laid a huge emphasis on the joy and blissfulness of an afterlife you call heaven, which, if you're truly honest with yourself, you know it is an unconfirmed state of existence. A blind date would have you. This is why you grieve when a loved one dies, because you really don't know where they're going. Of course, the person's body may have been buried at a destination on earth or cremated and placed in an urn, but the inner being that you once knew, not just the flesh, but the essence which operates the body, is no longer accessible. You were taught that if you don't obey scriptural books written by men, then you're going to hell. And because you believed it, it helped to cut you off from your own divine expression of being the God of your life and taking responsibilities for all which surrounds you. Welcome to Back to the Basics, where you learn facts, hope you embrace it. Watch, like, share, bring in awareness. Watch, like, share, bring in awareness. I'm fearless. Welcome to Back to the Basics, where you learn facts, hope you embrace it. Watch, like, share, bring in awareness. Watch, like, share, bring in. All of you are familiar with the word person, for we all identify with it being a person ourselves. If we look deeper into the meaning, you will find that the word person derives from the Latin word persona, which simply means a mask. We all know what a mask is, and its primary purpose is to cover the real identity of another thing. In other words, a mask projects the unreal nature of the lower self. You may not remember this, but we all were given a mask in the form of a skin suit in which we put on at birth, through which to express ourselves, but which is not our real self, but we think it is. The real you is the divine being, the Etherian that dwells within the gross matter. You see, as ether slows down in mood and vibration, it meshes or personifies as the outer you. This is a unique incident, for each person is a divine union that we, the ancient Egyptian, in our mystery language call Smai, which simply means union. The Hindus borrowed it and they called it yoga. Oh, hold on. The Latin word yukam is derived from it, and it gave us the English word married. A masculine and feminine coming together as one union, bringing balance to one another. Most people find it difficult to balance their lives and find the right relationship because at any one time they are between the polarities in their own being. The reason for this is because each person has different polarities and a different zero time reference. And when two come together, instead of starting a new life, too often one or both may bring with them in this new relationship their past experiences, which eventually causes conflict between them in their new union, and eventually what initially made them relate diminishes and they ship away from each other. They fail to realize that life does not stand still. It is a continuous flow of vibration, and every moment of time is supposed to bring about a new relationship, a new experience, and a new activity needed on the part of each person to fully live that experience of being. But too often people remain on one level only. You see, to be able to move from one polarity or pole to another at will is perfectly normal, but it do require skill and discipline to not affect others around you negatively. You must first realize that your polarities are not enemies, but rather the closest of allies, and you are able to balance them by simply keeping your head in the clouds and your feet on the ground. And by that I mean, when a principle is pursued too strongly, there's always the tendency for the energy to swing back to the other in order to balance itself. In other words, people who push themselves too hard, let's say towards spirituality, often react by having the energy swing down into a stronger physical desire and vice versa. So always remember, too much of something is not good for you. And don't try to be religious about things. Just do the right thing. I'm Kef Ray, and this is Back to the Basic. Like, share, and subscribe. Facts we stated. You wanna know something? Go back to basics. Mozart trapping was called the Matrix. The world civilized, yet it's hard to face it. So I spread truth, hope you embrace it. Watch, like, share.